Hi Flosstube, welcome to my channel Stitching with the Waves. I'm Jennifer and I'm so excited to be back and sharing all of my cross stitching with you guys. It has been about a year since I made my last video. Life has just gotten in the way and been super busy, so I just didn't get around to making videos. I was doing cross stitching and quilting and that sort of thing though, so I wanted to get back into it now that my schedule is a little bit more flexible and share with you guys everything I've been working on. I thought the easiest way to jump back in would be to do a WIP parade. So I have 6 WIPs currently and I'm going to share those with you today. I also have a couple of projects that I finished really recently in the past month, so I thought I would share those with you. If there's anything from my previous video that you don't see in this one, it means I probably finished it. So just leave me a comment down below if there's a specific project you want to see and I'll show that in my next video. Let's just go ahead and jump in here. We'll kind of do life updates as the video goes on, or we'll get to them in another video, but I want to be sure I get through all my projects in the time I have to do the video today. So let's start with my finish that I finished just a couple of days ago. This is Nutcracker Village by Country Cottage Needleworks, and this is the layout of the whole project put all together that you can find on their website. They sell each of the houses and the center section separately, so you can stitch them that way, or you can download this layout from their website and stitch that. You can see a lot of the houses are really pastel colored. My vision for this project is to hang it or display it in the middle of my Nutcracker collection at Christmas time. I have a 2-tiered console table and I have all my Nutcrackers displayed on there, but they're a little bit like brighter colors, not so pastel. So I did do a few color changes. I added a red, some dark blue, and a tan color, and just changed the colors of some of the houses. So here it is. This is stitched on 40 count raw natural linen. And I'll kind of zoom in and try and do each of the pan across and do each of the houses for you. It's very hard to see if I'm doing this correctly. Okay, here we go. I think we're pretty good. So there are each of them. And I changed up some of the colors. I also just made a few tiny changes here and there to some of the things to personalize it a little bit. But the biggest thing I did, you can see right in the middle there next to Clara and the prince, down on the ground, there's a tiny little mouse. But I felt that the Mouse King needed a little bit more of a tribute than just the tiny little mouse. So I changed up one of the houses. I forget which one I did not stitch. I just took the house, stitched it as it was, and changed it to be a cheese shop. And there you can see the Mouse King with his crown and his sword. So I just charted him up myself based on some of the other characters and gave him a little cheese shop in there, because that's always one of my favorite parts, my kids' favorite parts of the ballet is the battle with the Mouse King. So I wanted to be sure that we had just a little bit more of him in the village than just the little tiny mouse in the corner. So that's Nutcracker Village. My plan is to get that framed up and display it with my Nutcracker collection. So I'm glad that I got it done. All right, next up, I got very distracted in the past 3 or 4 months with my petty point stitching. I had a couple of rugs that I've been working on. So one is in a semi-finished state here that I'm going to show you. I finished the stitching on it in August, and I wanted to show you, hold it this way maybe, fits a little better on the screen. So I finished this up in August and it's in the blocking stage right now. So you can see, I'll hold it up nice and close so you can see the stitching here. This is a pattern by Sue Baker called Chinese Carpet. And can you see over here on the end, so you've got the navy blue border, and then right next to it are, I feel like my arm is not steady. Let me try and hold it a little steadier for you. Right next to the navy blue border is some white stitching called tabby stitching. And if you look at real life sized carpets, you'll frequently see that sort of flat weave stitching on the end before the fringe starts. So adding this into my miniature carpet just kind of gives it a little bit more realistic of a feel. And then it's still on the silk gauze all the way out to here. You can see the gauze hanging off the end here. So these long stitches right here will turn into the fringe once I've cut the rug away from the silk gauze, once all that extra gauze is off. So right now, it's looking pretty straight and square. I've been going through, you lay it out on, this is just two thicknesses of foam core together, and then I have these thumbtacks. So you lay the rug down on and you start pinning it. I use a straight ruler to pull the sides of the gauze out to get the rug lined up nice and straight. And when I have it straight, I put a pin in, and then you pull another section and put a pin in when it looks straight. And you keep going like that all around the sides, and then you use your iron to steam. You just hold it, you don't touch the rug with the iron, but you hold it right above and push the steam button so that it gets all the steam and moisture into the rug. Then you let it dry. I usually let it dry overnight, but a few hours would probably be okay. And then it's ready to do again. You just keep pulling and pinning straight and then steaming it again over and over until you get the rug as straight as you possibly can. That gets rid of any waviness from when you were stitching and any tension that pulled the rug out of square. It gets it squared up really nice. So I'm still in that process. I've probably got a few more rounds of steaming and stretching left to go. And then I'll be able to cut it off of the silk gauze and do the edge stitching on the long edges, like an overlock binding sort of stitch to give it a really finished edge over there too. So that's where that one's at. Once I finished that one, I was going to work on some of my other projects, but I wanted to start another petty point project because if I had finished that one, I didn't have one going, and I was like, oh, I just need to have one going. So I started it and then spent 2 months nonstop working on it. So I just got super distracted, which is fine because my other projects, I don't have any deadlines except what I like self-impose upon myself. So it means that my other projects I really haven't worked on very much at all in the past few months. So I'm still super distracted by this rug. I put it down long enough to finish Nutcracker Village so that I could have it displayed this Christmas, but I've picked it back up now and I don't want to put it down. So I'm just gonna probably keep going on this one for a while. This is a pattern from Antique Pattern Library, and this is what it looks like. It's called Tapestry Carpet, and the full name of the file on there is A-MH005. Tapestry Carpet. So it is a free pattern available to anyone who wants to go on Antique Pattern Library and download it. You can, stitch it in cross stitch, you can stitch it however you want, but to me, when I looked at it, it looked like a miniature rug to me. So I went ahead and kitted it up. It did have a DMC color code with it that came with it, so I just went through my Fancy Floss collection and kind of compared to the DMC numbers and pulled out flosses that I thought would be a good match because I wanted to stitch it in the overdyed floss. Let me move my needle off of here. Okay, here we go. Oh, that needs something behind it. Okay, here we go. So I have that center medallion stitched. Then I did the 2 corners and the background. And now I'm working on the 2 corners on the other side and the background down that direction as well. So I'll try and get it closer for you here so you can see the stitching a little bit more. There we go. So like I said, super distracted by it. I absolutely love it and I don't want to put it down. So I've got this center section. Once it's done, there's like 3 wide borders that go around as well. So it's still got quite a bit of stitching left to go. All right, next up is 101 Alphabets by Rosewood Manor. I started this one quite a while ago and I haven't picked it up lately. So I was a little surprised to see how much I have done. Okay, here we go. This is stitched on 40 count R&R Beach Brew. So I'm just gonna kind of do a pan down. It is huge, as you can imagine, with 101 alphabets. It's absolutely humongous. And I'm trying to think of where, so I think down in this area is what I stitched most recently. So you guys probably have not seen this area up close. So I'll try and show that. It's a little hard to see what's going on here. Where are we? There, that section there is probably what's new. All right, next up is my Mother's Tree band samplers. So this project was inspired by the Lavender and Lace Mother's Tree. I really loved the idea of having a heritage piece that lists all of my maternal line ancestors going back as far as I could find, but I didn't love the pattern. It wasn't me. I wanted to kind of create something a little bit more personal. So I used bands from Antique Pattern Library patterns that I found and created my own band sampler. So up at the top is the alphabet that I'm using, and then all of my ancestors are listed out down my maternal line. So my mother, her mother, her mother, back that way. The earliest I found was the woman Elizabeth Decoux was born in 1782. And it goes all the way down. I've blurred out the people who are still living here, but it goes all the way down to my daughter. And then I have 2 daughters, so I'm making 2 of these. The first one I have actually finished. This is stitched on 40 count R&R weathered shingle. Come back here. I've clipped up the bottom part. There are 3 more people and 3 more bands down there, but I wanted to keep privacy for the people who are still living. So those are underneath. So it is a little bit longer than this. And then I also have left some extra fabric down at the bottom in case either of my daughters ever has a daughter. It can be added onto at that time. So we'll try and come in and pan up a little bit. So this one is fully complete for my youngest daughter. And then for my older daughter, I used the same colors of floss and the same fabric, the R&R 40 count weathered shingle, but I switched up the bands so that each of them is a little bit unique. I didn't stitch the same bands in between the names or the same borders. I changed all those out. So I'll do the same scan with this one. This one is so close to being finished. It's ridiculous that I haven't just done it. But like I said, I'm super, super distracted by those carpets, and I haven't wanted to put them down. So down at the bottom beyond this that I clipped up is all 3 of the remaining names, and then I am on the very last band. So down here underneath the last name there's another band of stitching. I'm in that band stitching it, and it's probably a quarter of the way stitched. And then the borders that are down the side, they're up a little bit higher. I need to finish bringing them down on each side. But that's it. That's all there's left to finish, and then they would be done. But I don't want to put down the carpet to do it. So I haven't. It'll get done eventually, right? At some point. But for right now, that's where they stand. I keep telling myself I'm going to give myself until the end of October to stitch on the carpet as a reward for finishing the Nutcracker Village. And then November 1st, I am going to pick up that sampler and I am going to finish it because it is so close. It'll take me a couple of days probably. There's so little stitching left. I'm going to get that done starting November 1st. And then I can stitch on whatever I want, which will be that rug. So I'm going to try and be disciplined and keep myself to that. But like I said, my deadlines are all just for me. So when November 1st comes and I'm like, oh, I just really want to stitch on the rug today, don't be surprised. We'll see. We'll see. I really am going to try. I really want that one done. So I really am going to try and make myself put the rug down and do it. All right. Next up it's called Ranji per week. I don't know how to pronounce the first word. It's Dutch for bands or edges. And this is from a Facebook group called Ranjis of the Week, or Ranjis per week. and it was from 2001. They have released all of these bands now as part of a book. They were originally, each band was posted 1 week at a time for free on the Facebook group, and then once they published the book, they took the bands down. So they are not on there anymore, but I had downloaded all of them, and I had started in 2022 as my travel project. Now I did notice on that site, they are starting a 2023 Bands of the Week project on there. So if you are interested in something like this, you can let me know. I'll post the Facebook group link for you if you need it. And you can join in now and stitch the 2023 bands. So they'll be a little bit different than this, but it's very, very similar project. So let me come zoom in and see if we can scan up. So I just keep this in a travel bag, and this is what I stitch on whenever I'm traveling or when I'm, sitting waiting for my kids at something or whatever. So I still have quite a few bands left to go. So I'm not currently planning on stitching the 2023 bands. I will download them as we go, just so that I'll have that project in the future that I can do once this one's done. But this one's gonna keep me busy for quite a while because I think I'm maybe only halfway done with this. There's still a lot left to go. Oh, and that was stitched on also 40 count R&R weathered shingle. I think when I did the band samplers, I had the 2 band samplers, and then there was still that strip left that was wide enough to do the Bands of the Week project. So I was able to get like all 3 of those big long strips out of one piece of fabric. All right, next up is my full coverage project. It is a painting by Claude Monet called Poppy Fields, and I don't know how to pronounce. It has the name of the village or town in France, Argenteuil. I don't remember. I think I had looked up at one point how to pronounce that, and I don't remember now. But anyway, Poppy Field, and it was painted in 1875. Now, I was not able to find a pattern for this anywhere, so they do, because it's not in copyright, you can on the computer find high resolution photographs of the painting. So I was able to download one of those and then use my PC Stitch software to make my own pattern. So I am fully done with the first column, which I believe is 6 pages long. So there is the first column. And I haven't picked this up in a while. I just haven't felt like full coverage stitching other than Petty Point. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll get back to that soon too. All right, last project. Here we go. This is Temperature Quaker from Stitchin' Mommy. When I saw her post this at the end of last year, I knew, yes, this is the temperature project for me. Love the Quakers, and I changed up the colors a little bit. Let's see if you can see. Okay, so all right, so these, let me try and lay them out nicely. All right, so the blue purplish colors over here are the warmer colors, and then it moves through some like more royal blues to some greens are my coolest colors. Okay, I am a little bit behind on this. I've completed all the way through August. Whoops. I think I just said that backwards as well. The purpley blue colors are my cool colors, and the greenish colors are my warmest colors. I think I just said that wrong, but anyway, go with what I said just now. Warm is the purpley, cooler is the aquas are the warmer colors. Did I say it backwards again? You guys, what is wrong with me? Purple colors are the cool colors from the beginning of the year, like January when it's cold. August, when it's hot down here, are the greens, the warmest colors. Okay, so each of the Quaker motifs or medallions in here is a month, and then in December, she has the alphabet and some other little motifs sprinkled throughout the whole thing, and that will be the month of December. So I am caught up through August, and this is the very beginning of September over here. All right, I need to get back to that one too. I've got so many projects. I'm hoping by making the video, I will get motivated to stitch on all these projects again. Now that I've like pulled them out and looked at them, talked about them, I'm hoping that'll motivate me to get back to a rotation more and get some progress on all of these different projects. So it was great to see all of you guys today. I'm so glad to be back and to be making videos. I hope that you'll like and subscribe so that whenever I have a video posted, you'll get notified. And leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys and get reconnected with everybody. Bye.